Hello everyone. From today we are going to start a new lecture series based on the subject Theory of Motion 2. In this lecture series we are going to discuss about the different type of the gear, force analysis of all type of the gear and numerical based on it. Also we are going to discuss about the types of gear train and gearboxes and analysis of epicyclic gear train. Then we are going to move towards the cam and follower, all types of cam and follower, and how to draw a displacement diagram of cam and follower. Then there is a part synthesis of mechanism. Here we are going to discuss about the problems based on dimensional type synthesis mechanism. And at the end there is a part gyroscope. We are going to discuss or study about the gyroscope and how to solve the numerical based on it. So for complete knowledge of the course, please do like and subscribe the channel. Also at the end of each topic, we are going to discuss about some objective type of the question which is based on the GATE examination and IAS examination, which is also beneficial for the other technical examination. Without any interruption, let's start from the beginning. First is the gears. Now all we know about the gears. Gears is a power transmitting device which is used to transmit power from one shaft to another shaft without slipping. There is another power transmitting device like belt drive, chain drive, but in case of belt drive there is chances of slipping. So gear is the positive drive, it is compact drive, it will be used for the high power transmission. So it where the torque is more, we can use the gear drive. So here we are going to discuss about the classifications of gears. Now we have the four category to classified gear. So first is the according to position of axis of shaft. Second is according to peripheral velocity of the gears. Third is according to type of gearing, and last is according to position of teeth on the surface of gear. So let's see this category one by one. First is according to position of axis of shaft. In this category we have three further types of the gear, that is parallel axis, second is intersecting axis, third is non-parallel non-intersecting. In first category, that is parallel axis, we have three types of the gear: spur gear, helical gear, rack and pinion. When axes are parallel to each other, we have this type. Then axes are intersecting, means suppose we have the axis in this position, so the axis is perpendicular and they are intersecting with each other. And third is non-parallel non-intersecting, suppose we have the position of the shaft in this way, they are never intersect with each other. One axis goes in this direction, another axis goes in this direction, so these axes are even non-parallel and non-intersecting. So these three types of the gear is come in type of gear according to position of axis of shaft. Now let's see each type in details. First is spur gear. In parallel axis we have first type spur gear. Now spur gear, as you can see in this figure, when two shafts are parallel to each other and coplanar to each other connected by the gear, that gear is nothing but the spur gear. The arrangement of shaft is parallel to each other. Also the teeth of the gears are also parallel to the axis of wheel. So here in this figure you can easily see the teeth of the gear are parallel to the surface of gear or surface of the wheel, or we can say that teeth of the gear also parallel to the axis of wheel. Okay, so this category is the spur gear. Now next is helical gear. Now helical gear also the gear which is used on the parallel shafts, means when the axis of shaft are parallel to each other we use the helical gear. Only the change between the spur gear and helical gear is that the teeth of the helical gear make some angle with the face of the gear. Okay, here in this figure you can easily see that teeth of the gear having some angle with the axis of shaft, or we can say that teeth of the gear having some angle with the surface of gear. That angle is called as helix angle, and the gear is called as helical gear. Now this change is due to, see in case of the spur gear, here we have the animation video of the spur gear. Now see in this video, when teeth of the gear engage with the teeth of the another gear, what happen? The engagement is done with the line contact. Means there is a sudden line contact between the tooth of this pinion to the tooth of gear. So due to that line contact, there is a maximum friction and noise creation. Now see, in case of helical gear, the engagement of teeth are increases gradually. The teeth are having some angle with the axis of gear, and the engagement start gradually increasing. So the operation is less noisy. It can be used for the high speed application. Only the disadvantage is, as we know, the design is complicated, so manufacturing cost is more as compared to the spur gear, and also due to this angle of teeth, or we can say that due to the teeth angle, there is an axial thrust. While two gears are engaging with each other, due to the angle, teeth makes angle with the surface of the gear, there is an axial thrust on helical gear, and to avoid that, we have the modified type of the helical gear. It called as herringbone gear, or it is also called as double helical gear. Now in this case, what we are going to do to avoid the axial thrust, two helical gear with opposite hand are mounted side by side to cancel the axial thrust. Means if we have the teeth, now let me clear first one thing, that is type of helical gear. It is according to hands of helical gear. Hands of helical gear means the position of teeth of helical gear. Here we have the figure, and when the axis of the gear is in horizontal position and the teeth are moving or going downwards towards the left, then it is called as left-handed helix. And when the teeth of the gear moving downward towards or goes downward towards the right, it is right-handed helix. Okay, according to this, teeth position goes towards the right is right-handed, goes towards the left is left-handed. But when shaft is in horizontal position, if shaft is in vertical position, then it will be opposite. Okay, so you just remember in one case that when shaft is in horizontal position, teeth of the helical gear downward towards the left is left-handed and downward towards the right is right-handed. Okay, here in case of herringbone gear, we are placing mounting two helical gear which is opposite-handed side by side. So if left hand helix having axial thrust in this direction, right hand helix is in opposite direction, so they are cancelling each other. But it has a high cost, and so that it will be used only for heavy machine. Here we have the herringbone gears. You can see two opposite handed gears are mounted side by side. Third type, when shaft position is parallel to each other, we have rack and pinion. Rack and pinion are used to convert rotary motion into linear motion and vice versa. Okay, so here in this picture we have the pinion and we have the rack. The circular gear is called as pinion, which is in small in size, and the horizontal or linear toothed is called as rack. Now rack is also gear, only the pitch circle diameter of rack is infinite, so it becomes a straight. Okay, so what is pitch circle diameter, that we'll see in next lecture. That lecture is based on the terminology of gear. Okay, right now you just remember that rack and pinion is used to transmit linear motion to rotary motion or vice versa, and the perfect example of rack and pinion is the steering system. In our vehicle there is a steering system where we transmit the rotary motion into linear motion. Now the second category, that when position of the axis is intersecting to each other. When two non-parallel and intersecting but coplanar axis is used, then it categorized as intersecting axis gear. Okay, and the best example in intersecting axis is bevel gear. Now see what is bevel gear. The bevel gear is used when shaft position are 90 degree with each other, or it also can be used less than 90 degree angle, but the axis of shaft are intersecting somewhere. Okay, when axis of shaft are intersecting, the bevel gear will be used. Now bevel gear, we can easily see the application of bevel gear in differential gearbox, which is used in our automobile. Okay, then the bevel gear are further divided into few types, that is straight bevel gear, spiral bevel gear, hypoid bevel gear. Another two types is also there, that is zero bevel gear and mitre bevel gear. It is also called as mitre bevel gear. Okay, so the types of bevel gear is also important as per our subject concern, or as per examination concern. So let's see a brief review on the type of bevel gear. Now we have the straight bevel gear, spiral bevel gear and hypoid bevel gear. Here we have the figure of straight bevel gear. Straight bevel gear is just similar like a spur gear. Okay, the only change is that the shape of the spur gear, we know that the surface of the gear is cylindrical. Okay, and in case of bevel gear, the surface is in conical shape. Okay, and teeth are parallel to the surface of gear. Here the figure A you can see the figure A where teeth are parallel to the surface of the gear, and in that case the axes are intersecting with each other. Okay, the second is spiral bevel gear. Spiral bevel gear, only what is the difference, that teeth are making some angle with the surface of the gear, and the shape of the gear is in conical shape. Okay, third is hypoid bevel gear. Now hypoid bevel gear are similar like a spiral bevel gear. The only change is that the axis of the gears are never intersect. In figure C you can see the hypoid bevel gear, and there is an offset in between the pinion and crown, and due to that offset, axis never intersect with each other. Actually I have shown that type in intersecting axis category, but it is a type of bevel gear, so I'll put that point over here. But in case of hypoid bevel gear, there is a no intersection of the axis. Here we have the video of spiral bevel gear. You can see one is the pinion, another is the gear. Next is zero bevel gear and mitre bevel gear. Now see, in case of zero bevel gear, it is just like a straight bevel gear. Only change is that teeth are curved instead of conical. Okay, so what happened in case of the zero bevel gear? The teeth having some curve in middle position, and at the end they are parallel to the gear surface or parallel to the axis. So what happened due to this little bit change, the engagement of two zero bevel gear, it started gradually increasing, and so there is a no sudden line contact, and due to that it can be easily avoid the noise and friction. Okay, so that the zero bevel gear is modified. It is a modification of straight bevel gear. And last is the mitre bevel gear. Mitre bevel gear, it is just like another type of the bevel gear. The only change is the size of two gears are identical. Okay, and so it is divided, or it can be different from the other gear. It is used at when shaft is at 90 degree and size of two gears are equal, so there is a equal number of teeth in case of mitre. Now the third category in position of the shaft is non-intersecting non-parallel. When the position of the shaft is non-intersecting and non-parallel, means one shaft is in this way, another shaft is that way, so they never met with each other. Also they are not coplanar. The shafts are not in the same plane, the shafts are non-parallel, the shafts are non-intersecting. In that case we use, or the gear is used, that called as skewed bevel gear. Okay, so let's see it. The first type in this is worm and worm wheel. Okay, As you can see in this picture, the worm is the cylindrical member and circular member is called as gear or wheel. So the worm is in this position, or axis of the shaft of the worm is in this position and axis of gear in that position. So they never intersect with each other. The axis never intersect with each other. The worm and worm wheel is always used for the speed reduction. So it has a high speed reduction ratio, that is 20:1 to 300:1. So basically worm and worm wheel is used for the speed reduction because it has a high cost, high manufacturing cost, and manufacturing is too difficult. And one interesting thing in case of the worm and worm wheel is that worm is always driver and wheel is always driven member. There is no reverse motion. Means if reverse motion is there, the self-locking will be there, and that self-locking is beneficial for the lifting devices. So worm and worm wheel is used for the lifting devices. It is also for the transportation machinery. Okay. In this category, that non-intersecting, non-parallel category, we also have the screw gear. Screw gear is the same-handed helical gear which is used, and the twisting angle of that helix is exact 45 degree. When we move this gear, any one gear from the pair in vertical position or the horizontal position, you can see teeth become the same-handed. Suppose in case 1, the first gear is in horizontal position, so teeth are downward towards the right, it means it is right-handed. And when we shifted this blue gear in horizontal position, then also tooth become downward towards the right, so it become right-handed helix. So both are the same-handed helical gear, and it will be used when shafts are non-parallel and non-intersecting with each other. Now let's move towards the second category, where we are classified gear according to peripheral velocity of the gears. So according to peripheral velocity, we have 3 types of the gear: low velocity gear, high velocity gear, and medium velocity gear. So in case of low velocity, we have the velocity limit 3 meter per second. In case of medium velocity, we have the limit 3 meters per second to 15 meter per second. And in case of the high velocity, we have speed limit above 15 meter per second. Okay. Next is according to type of gearing. According to type of the gearing, this is very important, that we have internal gearing and external gearing. Now external gearing we seen in various way. In case of toy, in case of any automobile gearbox, we have seen this external gearing. The external gearing means when the teeth of the gear met with each other externally, so it is called as external gearing. And the fact is that in case of external gearing, the gears are rotated in opposite direction to each other. Here in case of figure A, you can see easily the direction of one gear is clockwise, another gear is anti-clockwise. Due to external gearing, they are rotated in opposite way. And in case of the internal gearing, we have the crown or annular gear which having the internal teeth. So here in case of the figure B, we have the big gear that is called as annular wheel or annular gear, it having the internal teeth, and we have the small pinion. Small gear is called as pinion. So pin having the external teeth, and pin intersect or mate with the annular wheel internally, and due to this internal meshing, the gears are rotated in same direction. When two gears are internally in mating position, then they are rotated in same direction. So as you can see in figure B, the internal gearing is there and gears are rotated in same direction. So here we finish with the all types of the gear. First category is according to position of the shaft. In this we having the parallel axis position, then intersecting axis position, and non-parallel non-intersecting position. In parallel position we have the spur gear, helical gear, and rack and pinion. In case of intersecting, we have bevel gear and all types of the bevel gear, that is straight bevel gear, spiral bevel gear, miter bevel gear, zero bevel gear, and a hyper bevel gear. Okay, and last category, last is the non-intersecting, non-parallel, non-coplanar. We have worm wheel and we have the screw gear. Okay, so here we have the picture, and in that picture we can see, first here we have the straight bevel gear. Straight bevel gear you can see easily. Then the shape is conical shape and teeth are parallel to the surface. Then spiral bevel gear, the shape is conical shape but teeth are having some angle with each other. Next is spur gear. Spur gear is mounted on parallel shaft and teeth are parallel to the surface of the gear. Next is helical gear. See, the shaft is parallel to each other but teeth are having some helix angle with each other. Okay. Next is the miter gear. See, the size of two gears are same, so it is called as miter gear. Next is the gear coupling. Then internal gearing is there. In internal gearing we have the annular wheel, and between that or inside that there is a pinion and they are meshing internally. Okay, then we have the worm and worm wheel. The worm is the driver because we start in this direction and the wheel is driven. Then screw gear, two helical gear is there. They are same handed and used at 90-degree angle. Then rack and pinion. Rack and pinion, the pinion motion, that is rotary motion of the pinion, is translated into linear motion of rack. Okay guys, here we finish with the classification or types of the gear. I hope you get the clear idea how to classify the gear. I know this lecture is quite lengthy, but to get clear concept or to get clear idea about the classification of the gear, you must go through the video. And at the end, as we said, that we are going to discuss about the objective type of the question. So here on your screen there are 3 objective type of the question which is based on this just classification of the gear. So just read this question and try to find out the answer and comment the answer. Thank you for watching the video.